How we doing, guys? Welcome back to Opinion Piece. It's Thaddeus, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite new anime that's come out. It's only been out animated for about a year. It came out in April of last year, 2024. It is Kaiju number 8, and we'll be recapping season 1. All right, guys. So, I guess first thoughts on when I saw the title. I entered it completely, with no expectations, fully open-minded. I had no idea what it was about or anything really about it. So, uh, the first thing I thought was it had a really interesting name, Kaiju number 8. I know Kaiju roughly translates to like monster or like big monster in Japanese. So, I just thought to myself, like, why does the number matter? Why is it not just kaiju? But I mean, obviously that gets explained as the story goes on. But I just first thoughts, like sometimes you see a title and that's what hooks you, and that's kind of my first thoughts when I read it. All right, so other than an interesting title, the intro song is in English, which was a bit surprising to me. It's Abyss by Youngblood. In my opinion, it's a masterpiece through and through. It embodies the show perfectly. The lyrics seem to be a cry from the inside of our main character, Kafka Hibino, that we can all relate to at some point in our lives. The line that rings insanely true to my life experiences is, I've got to fight, been feeling that I need isolation. My head needs renovation, right? Whoever chose this artist or song to be in the intro for this anime needs a raise and a statue made in their name, because he was number one. Season 1 covers 38 manga chapters. The 4 arcs in this season are The Man Who Became a Kaiju, Sagamihara Neutralization Operation at Daybreak, The Raid on Tachikawa Base, and Kaiju number 8 Captured. Season 2 is expected to cover about 30 manga chapters, including the Kaiju Weapon and the Compatible Users arc. Expect some big time upgrades in the forms of Kaiju armor and new abilities, as well as more characters who are powerful and skilled. Starting off with The Man Who Became a Kaiju arc, Kafka is working full time for a Kaiju disposal company. They dispose of the carcasses of the Kaiju after the defense force has defeated them. He has lost hope as far as fulfilling his dreams of joining the defense force until a much younger Reno is hired at the Kaiju disposal company. After working together for a while, Reno reignites Kafka's passion to take the Defense Force exam, since Reno has the same goal of joining. During what seemed to be another day on the job, Kafka and Reno encounter a small kaiju that is clearly dangerous. They both try to flee, but their attempt is thwarted by the low-level kaiju. Kafka tries to save Reno by distracting the kaiju to buy time for his escape. He refuses to leave Kafka to die. They attempt to stand their ground against the kaiju and are saved by the defense force at the last second. While at the hospital recovering from their injuries, a mini kaiju roughly the size of a bird appears in front of Kafka and says, "I found you." The kaiju then forces Kafka to consume it. Before Kafka can react, he swallows the kaiju whole. What a shocking way to begin the storyline. I felt hope, despair, joy, and confusion within seconds of each other. This confrontation with the unknown miniature kaiju has been theorized to have deeper meaning, but nothing has been confirmed just yet. After the confrontation, Kafka transforms into a human/kaiju hybrid. Reno is completely shocked, but not more than Kafka. Kafka is forced to flee in order to avoid being discovered by the authorities in his new kaiju form. Reno flees with him. While fleeing, Kafka senses a kaiju nearby. He rushes towards the scene to dispose of the threat. He uses his powers to save a mother and daughter easily. Reno finally catches up to find that this new transformation has given Kafka immense power, way beyond what they had first imagined. At the conclusion of this fight, the defense force recognizes Kafka's kaiju form as Kaiju number 8. However, they do not know his human identity. Flash forward a few days, Kaiju number 8 is now said to be on the loose, and these two are back at work like nothing even happened. They continue to work towards their goal of joining the Defense Force, having just received their letters confirming they each passed the written exam and are now invited to the physical portion of the entrance test. When they get to the testing grounds, they meet a lot of characters who wind up being a part of the main crew. They can see competition will be especially tough this year, raising the stakes of the already vital exam. A lot of the newcomers show off their physical prowess and skill trying to wow the examiners, especially Kikoru, who is the daughter of Director General of the entire Defense Force. Reno and Kafka display their knowledge gained working at the Kaiju Disposal Company using anatomic weaknesses of the Kaiju to make eliminating them easier for the whole team. When Kikoru defeats the leader of the Kaiju, ending the exam, everyone starts heading back to base when suddenly a humanoid Kaiju appears and starts bringing the dead Kaiju back to life and even more powerful than before. The humanoid Kaiju then attacks and severely injures Kikoru. The zombie Kaiju then furiously attacks her to the point where she thinks she's about to lose her life. Out of nowhere, Kafka shows up. The mysterious Kaiju fades into the shadows as quickly as he had appeared. Kafka then reassures Kikoru that everything is fine before transforming into Kaiju number 8, revealing his secret to her. He turns to the zombie Kaiju and obliterates it with one punch. Then he speaks to Kikoru, begging her not to tell anyone that he is a Kaiju. They eventually talk more in depth about it after she recovers from her injuries, but she makes it clear that if Kafka shows any bad intent as Kaiju number 8, she will be the one to end him. I truly loved this first arc and felt that it needed to shine on its own. It firmly lays a foundation for the story on which everything I love about it is built on. From action, comedy, and relatable moments where you can really get attached to all the characters, this anime has it all. On part 2 of this video, I will be covering the other 3 arcs from the season, which will not be nearly as long as this one. I hope you guys love Kaiju 8 as much as I do. Let me know on the comments down below what you guys like and dislike about Kaiju 8 so we can talk more about it on here. You guys have a good one. Peace out.